He sees that the field is pretty well clear, and now he's set to put them on the way. Approximately 30 minutes of football ahead, the final quarter, and Geelong on top by 10 points. The bounce favours Farmer. He hooks it over his head, then goes back in for it, but Fisher beats him to it with the boot. The ball goes towards Devine, hands stretched everywhere. Brown has hold of it now. He's grabbed by Fisher. He gets rid of it with a funny one-hand pass towards Lord. Stuart Lord kicks the ball onto the half-forward line. Gary Young takes it off his chest and kicks the ball back towards Goggin. Goggin marked over the top. Marked right over the top of Mulder. Geelong, with Woodley limping, are kicking to the Richmond goal. Woodley saw. Misdirected kick and a good mark by Parkin, who gets clouted by Rice, who tried to hit the ball. And I thought his gesture was one of apology as soon as it had happened. From the back pocket to the half-back line. Behind us, Goggin again. His kick is to the half-forward line. Behind towards Yates. Yates tried to knock it forward but couldn't. And Cam McPherson clears the ball out of bounds directly in front of the race from which the players enter the arena.
2 minutes of play gone in the final quarter. It's on the half-forward line, and there's Woodley. They're getting a bit of attention from trainers as play goes on. It's picked up by Fisher, who's pushed out of the road. Olsen keeps the ball in play, gathered in by Brown, and Brown sends it in towards full. Wooler was up one-handed. Coming in as Doug Wade, number 23. Over the top of him is Beck. Players going down with the ball, and umpire Crouch comes in.
Doug Wade has an inside step over toe hold on the last fella up, and that's Gary Young.
A ball up in the pocket position for Geelong. A chance for them to score here. Beck knocks the ball down. Coming through is Parkin. In there is Stead Hay. Hines tries to pick it up, but it's out of bounds again in Geelong's forward pocket. 67-57, Geelong in front. There's Farmer getting up high, not able to knock the ball down, but a free kick is going against Polly Farmer, interfering with Graham Cooper. It's Cooper's free kick. From the back pocket, it's Cooper swinging play back to the centre wing towards Coverdale. Goodland flies high to pull down a beauty.
Geelong have taken 44 marks to 27.
Goodland, who took the 44th mark, is number 22, and here he is kicking the ball well over centre half forward with a beautifully timed drop kick. Too many players up in the air to get a mark there. Cam McPherson, a good defender. And Goodland nearly marked again. Walker's got his hands on the ball, so too has Graham Arthur. The umpire will save any more consternation, and here's the bounce up. Farmer grabbed Arthur. Devine punches it to Goggin. How he got out of that trouble, I'll never know. The ball is short for Beck. Bounces off Beck's chest towards Gary Young. Gary Young's in trouble. They grab him from every angle. Free kick against Gary Young. And it's Geelong's free kick within kicking distance.
I can't follow this at all. How Gary Young could be free kicked but deliberately dropping the ball, I don't know. He was grabbing the ball, was plucked away from him. And he's been free kicked and will go to Doug Wade.
What's the rule?
The rule is if a player deliberately drops a ball, he'll be free kicked.
Wade from 50 yards out. Torpedo punt. Is this his first goal? That's his first goal for Geelong, and it's a real breath of fresh air.
In the final quarter, 4 minutes of play have already gone.
It increases Geelong's lead to 2-4, but I agree with Ian Cleland that it was a lucky goal for Geelong, and I can't see how the umpire could have given it against Gary Young, but still, that's the way the game goes, and Hawthorn have got a battle back now under adversity.
16 points is now the difference. That's a lot more handy than 10 points. And look at Farmer. Look at that beautiful hand pass down there to the half-forward line. The pack tries to bring it on and do through Hines. Hines is on the half-forward line. Could have kicked a goal. Seemed to be tentative. Didn't know whether to pass it to Wooler in the goal square or to Yates in the full-forward pocket. And his hesitancy cost him the chance.
Hines has been very quiet for Geelong today. He's only had 6 kicks.
Ruck duel coming up between Cooper, number 10, 40 is Yates. Knocked down by Cooper. Picked up by Nolder. Nolder clears it up to the half-back line. Ian Mort tries to mark it. Picked up now by Uren. He handballs it out towards McPherson, who can't take the pass. Picked up by Lord. He gives it to Farmer, and here's Polly Farmer shooting in towards goal. A beautiful kick towards Fred Willer. Willer can't mark it. Yates is there, number 40. Beck comes in, kicks it off the ground, and it's out of bounds right on the behind post in the Geelong forward pocket.
16 points the difference at the start of the final quarter.
And 6 minutes of play have already gone.
6 minutes gone. The ball at the Geelong end of the ground, the Richmond end. Knocked away by Cooper, picked up by Phil Hay. He runs into trouble from Yates, pulls him down. Goggin will pick it up. Goggin looking for a hand pass, gives it across to Rice. Rice a chance to score. This looks good. The goal umpire stands rock still, but brings up only one hand. 17 points the difference. 7 minutes into the final quarter of play of the 1963 flag.
Again, we await the kick-off from the Hawthorn fullback, Phil Hay.
Quarter time, Hawthorn led by 3 points. At half time, Geelong by 16. And at 10 at three-quarter time, now they're back to 17 in front.
There's a kick by Hay, a low trajectory drop kick to the half-back line. Up is Ratley, takes the mark, picks it up off the ground. When he doesn't mark it, knocked away by Cooper, picked up by Alistair Lord, who kicks in towards goal for Geelong. And that's Alistair Lord's second goal, and Geelong are really marching home.
One of the best players here in this game for Geelong is Farmer playing a tremendous game here. Devine, Walker, Goggin and Ratley, and for Hawthorn, Mort, Woodley, Hay, Coverdale and Olsen.
Jeff Leake named his best players as Jeff Crouch, the umpire, bounces the ball for the next passage of play, and Farmer wins it. Hand pass is smothered by Naldo. He tries for a second time. Uren pulls him down. Holding the ball, Polly Farmer. Free kick to Colin Uren, and Uren wastes no time because Hawthorn are down, but they'll never give up. Here it comes into the full forward zone, and a good mark by John Watt.
There's the kick by Watts up to the half-back line, and Peter Walker chips in to take the pass from Watts, and Geelong will come forward again.
Time check, 8 minutes gone, final quarter.
Peter Walker, drop kick up to the centre wing position. Alistair Lord is behind, up is Ratley, but Lord takes the mark, beautiful mark. And here is the Hawthorn player, Peter Lyon, about to come onto the ground, as Alistair Lord from the half-back line puts it forward to his half-forward line. Picked up for Hawthorn by skipper Graham Arthur. He sends it back again from where Lord kicked it. And Lord again tries to put it in. There's Woodley being spoken to by one of his trainers. The ball is in the possession of Ian Mort at the moment, but he's going to surrender it, and the kick is going to Alistair Lord because he marked it.
Geelong have taken 50 marks to Hawthorn's 27. Alistair Lord, although he might have been beaten by Nelda, has kicked 2 goals for Geelong.
The ball is behind the pack. Farmer going hard, but the ball is too quick for him, and everybody else trailing behind.
The trainer who went out to tell Woodley to come off has been shrugged aside by Woodley, who's limping up towards the ruck play, and now the trainer has come back to have a talk with Kennedy.
Goggin kicking the ball forward. A chance here for Brown. Brown is brought to the ground. Picked up now by Hines. Here's a show as Hines gets his boot to the ball. Sent along, kick in towards goal. Another goal to Geelong. And Bob Davis is jubilant. The second goal by Hines.
Tremendous reaction from the Geelong bench. They all went up in the air.
Well, it looks as though now perhaps the third hard game in a row is having its effect on Hawthorn, and Geelong look as though they could run away to the easiest of victories. But even if they win by 6 goals, it won't be an easy victory because it's been a hard, rough game.
Here they come again. The ball onto the half-forward line. Wooler's getting the run here. He's been brought back to the half-forward line. Look at him go. A chance for a left-foot goal by Wooler. It's going right down the throat of goal. The Cats are on fire.
Look at the Geelong bench.
Geelong have kicked those last 3 goals in about 21 seconds.
And there's one thing for sure, Sir Kenneth Luke could tell the printers to start putting Geelong's name on the 1963 Premiership flag.
Time check, 10 minutes of play gone in the final quarter.
Woodley versus Yates. Yates getting a free kick. Woodley in disagreement. And things not just going right with the Hawks at this stage. Drop kick from the back line to the half-forward line. Uren, tireless player. Goggin versus Uren. Goggin in front now. Brought down, accidentally tripped. Free kick to Goggin.
There's 28 free kicks to Hawthorn, 26 to Geelong.
Polly Farmer's too much over his head. Stuart Lord is number 6, Uren number 30. Ian Mort getting a kick. "35 points the difference as Yates gets up very high, but Hawthorn comes forward. Ball has gone to Peck. Peck a kick along the ground. Nothing can go right for the Hawks at this moment, but Geelong are really burning.
Geelong were 10 in front at three-quarter time, but in the first 10 minutes of the last quarter, they've kicked 4 goals, and now their lead is 35 points.
Yates getting in front of Woodley. Over the top, Goodland. Stuart Lord knocks the ball away. West is with Stuart Lord. And twin brother of Alistair clears the ball out of bounds in front of the Gray Smith Pavilion, which is the one to be pulled down in the new MCC rebuilding scheme. 13-14 to 8 goals 9. In a flash it's developed to that. I don't know what was in that bottle, but Fred looked as though he was enjoying it. Alistair Lord. Towards Wooler. Oh! Definitely the swig made all the difference.
There's been 2 changes. Wooler back to centre-half forward, and Hawthorn have moved Gary Young from centre-half back, and Rod Olsen has taken over his place with Young going into the ruck and the forward flank.
I think this move of Wooler back to centre-half forward has given Geelong that necessary bite and mobility that they want on this half-forward line, because Wooler is a very damaging player with tons of pace, and he also is a big occasion player.
Wade pulls the full back well downfield. Wooler kicks right over their heads. Farmer getting up in the middle of a pack. He can't mark it from there. Nolder defending well. Picked up by Rice. Rice has a kick, but it's out of bounds. 13-14 to 8 goals 9. At quarter time, Hawthorn were 3 points in front. At half time, Geelong was 16 points up. At three-quarter time, Geelong were 10 points up, and now they're 35 points up. They kicked 4 goals in just a matter of seconds. The ball comes back towards Fisher. Fisher has it. Brown has been beaten by Fisher. The ball is kicked along the wing. Graham Arthur, he'll still be going flat out when the 100 minutes is up. Number 2, Graham Arthur. Number 9, the Geelong vice-captain Devine. 40 is Yates. He kicked it upfield. Goodland kicks into the centre of the ground where Watts takes the mark, and Watts puts Geelong back into attack. They can smell victory now. It's right in their nostrils. Farmer, a hand pass to Sharrock. Sharrock on the half-forward line, a kick for goal. It's running close to a goal, but not close for 6 points. It's one flag again.
This is not Sharrock's day. He's kicked 4 behind straight. Out of this 13-14, Geelong are leading Hawthorn 8-9.
14 minutes of play gone in the final quarter, and this is Phil Hay kicking off again for Hawthorn. Up to the half-back line goes the ball. Up for Hawthorn is Cooper, who gives it across to Uren, and here come Hawthorn as Uren puts it to the half-forward line. Scott can't take the mark. Gathered in by Ian Mort, and here's Mort sending the ball in towards full forward, and Peck has a show if the ball bounces right. Goodland is there as he chips in, and Goodland takes it away from Peck and clears it along the flank position, and it's out of bounds in Hawthorn's forward pocket, with Hawthorn 57, Geelong 93.
It's 93 to 57, and the Cats are cooking on gas. John Peck pushed out and getting a free kick. He was wanting to play on, but he will have to kick over the mark. It'd be 55 yards from goal.
This is his 9th kick. He's already kicked 3 goals, 3 behind.
.36 points the difference. Geelong have opened up a 6 goals lead as Peck kicks in towards the goal square. Ian Law tried to bust through on the direct route to goal. Goodland on his 19th man replaced Viner at half-time. He turns out of trouble and clears. Nolder has the ball. He's tackled by Routley, but he delivers the ball 30 yards upfield before it goes out again. 36 points the difference.
Geelong have taken 51 marks to Hawthorn's 31.
There's the throw. Peck and Yates. Peck knocks the ball down, taken by Law. Law gives it to Coverdale. Coverdale back to Law, and here's Law, short passing across towards Woodley. Can't take the mark, and Scott clears it for Geelong. back to the centre. We see Nolder coming in. Nolder turns, steadies, gets the ball down to the half-forward line, knocked away from Cooper. The ball comes back towards the centre. Cooper's still in there, but look at this pace here by Alistair Lord as he puts it down to the half-forward line for Geelong, and the mark is taken for Hawthorn by Gary Young. There's the kick by Young, back to the centre wing position. Cooper flies up, also as Watts, trying to pull the mark down. It's taken by Fisher. Fisher kicks the ball along the half-forward line, looking for somebody to take it, and it's Rod Olsen who quickly plays on and kicks the ball across to the centre half-forward position.
There's Rice, tried to take it one hand. He's on the ground. He's being chased now by Coverdale. He gets rid of it. Running in quickly is Olsen. Olsen's going towards the open goals. He slams it away. And he's not on target. There's one more point to Hawthorn. They are 8 goals 10, trailing Geelong 13-15.
I think a feature of today's game is a magnificent and spectacular hand passing of Farmer. A lot of people don't realise how good it is because it's far more accurate than the kick, and the many times that he finds his players is phenomenal, and that's the reason that Goggin and Rice have been getting many of the breaks from the packs.
Here's Goggin running in for the ball now. Goggin's got it. He's on the centre wing. He's going to get around Cam McPherson. Then he has to pass it upfield towards Sharrock, who's on his own. McPherson left him. Goggin's back in for it. The tactic seems to have gone astray now as Uren wins the battle and clears the ball downfield onto the half-forward line. The messenger's gone out to speak to Nolder as Stuart Lord takes the mark and holds up that attack and finds Routley on the wing.
Routley's got it on the centre wing for Geelong. He's on top of Uren since half-time. Kick up towards the half-forward line looking for Sharrock, and he's found him. The boy from Cooleybuck is on the half-forward flank. He drives up towards the centre half-forward position. He's looking for Wade and Wooler, and there's a chance now for Hines. He picks it up. Slam. And that's Hines' third goal. Davis has erupted down there in the Mount Vesuvius down at Geelong. Will be alive tonight. Geelong 14-15 lead Hawthorn 8-10, and they can wrap this grand final up because they have kicked 5-6 goals in this last quarter, and Hawthorn have kicked a point.
It looks at the moment as though Hawthorn are quite dispirited, and it's not to be surprised, nothing to be surprised about, because Geelong kicking 6 goals in about 17 minutes in a quarter is enough to demoralise any side.
In the final quarter, 18 minutes of play gone. And there's the ball picked up by Brown. He loses it as he's bustled. It's on the Geelong half-forward line. Geelong being still pressed by Hawthorn are trying to get back into the game. Fisher gives it across to Stead Hay, but he fumbles the ball. Fisher comes in again. Fisher tries to pick it up. He flicks it out looking for somebody. Doug Wade takes it on the half-forward line. Handballs it to Brown. And here comes Geelong again as Brown kicks it in towards full forward. Cooper takes the mark. Kicks it back to the half-back line. A chance over here for Routley. Routley takes it forward with him. It's still on the Geelong scoring zone. Players coming in and going over as it's kicked by Uren up towards Law. Law is on the half-back line. Handballs it across to the centre wing position to Mort. Mort gives it back to Law, and Law has his kick smothered. Picked up by Woodley. Woodley puts it forward for Hawthorn. Up is Graham Arthur, appealing for the mark, and the mark will go to the Hawthorn skipper about 50 yards from goal, and there's Farmer and Woodley having an argument. Never see Polly Farmer doing that very often.
I think Farmer got blamed for something that John Divide might have done.
Arthur's pass is right down the throat of Nolder. Nolder is within kicking distance, and we'll check on the time again.
19 minutes of play already gone in this final quarter of the grand final.
Geelong nearly 7 goals in front as Nolder kicks a beautiful drop kick. It's just falling a bit short. Peck is out of the way, and it... There was a lot of support for the thought that Hawthorn would make it a go for most of the way, but might crumple because of their hard final series in the final quarter. That seems to have worked out. Farmer to Goggin. Goggin was going to give it to Alistair Lord, then decided to pass it upfield. That must be Sharrock. Sharrock gives it back to Goggin. Here's some beautiful football. A lovely hand pass across to Yates. Yates shot passes into the goal square. Wooler will play on. A goal to the Cats, and the best piece of footy of the day. Champagne football from the Cats.
It can be done, Tony, when the other side that you're playing against is dispirited, and there's the score. 15-15. 105 points to Hawthorn's 8-11-59. Hawthorn are dispirited. At the moment, Geelong's pace is supremely evident, and they're getting away with murder because Hawthorn are a tired side.
Anxious consultation with Coach Kennedy by the messenger. but there's little he can do now. Congratulations to Hawthorn for the magnificent fight they put up in this game, and of course throughout the season. They're a credit to the league as the bounce goes underway again with Geelong 7 goals 4 ahead. Here they come again, no stopping them now. This is Hines, a left foot hook shot onto the half-forward flank on the Olympic stand wing. Steadhay's not giving up, nor any of the other Hawthorn players, but they seem tired. Parkin kicks the ball back into attack. Woodley is too slow at this time. Yates picks it up. No, it's not Yates, it's West across to Goodland. Goodland thwarts Coverdale. He short passes into the centre, but it's to Uren instead of to Wade.
There's the kick by Uren with 21 minutes of play gone. Up is Peck, but in front of him and up higher is John Watts. And again, Watts' save for Geelong, right on the last line of defence. John Watts, former West Australian player, drop kicking the ball wide to the centre wing. A chance for Hines. Hines is tackled by Law and will get the free kick. It looks for around the neck, and there's Uren and Hines having a tussle too. He's a fiery little character, this bloke. Hines is on the centre wing, and there's his kick on the Geelong's half-forward line. Up is Farmer. Almost a beautiful mark. Coming through is Gary Young. Picked up by Colin Rice. Handballs it out to Wade. Wade steadies, shoots in towards goal. 1 point on this occasion to Geelong from the kick by Wade.
Wade has kicked 1 goal 4.
John Kennedy has not sent his reserves on as yet, but I'm afraid nothing can get Hawthorn out of its present predicament. Nolder battling hard. It's not an easy thing to do, to play football as Hawthorn are playing it now, full of spirit and going just as hard as they can when they're so obviously well beaten. Goggin gave it to Hines. Hines from 50 yards out kicks one that's going close to a goal, but it's only 1 flag, and the Cats now are piling on the score. They're 15-17. They're 107 points to 59.
Phil Hay, the Hawthorn fullback, kicking off up to the half-back line. Up was Cooper trying to mark for Hawthorn. He shepherds well to allow Cam McPherson to take the ball. This is McPherson from the half-back line, sending Hawthorn forward. A chance over here for Ian Law. Behind him is Scott, number 14. Law picks up the ball on the half-forward line for Hawthorn. Doesn't kick it very far. Peter Walker takes it. He's tackled by Mort, gets it across to Devine, and he clears it for Geelong. Back to the centre wing. Cooper sets himself and takes a good mark as Hines comes in to take it. He handballs to a teammate coming through. Hawthorn come forward, but there's nobody there except John Watts of Geelong, who takes the mark again.
And this is his 8th mark, and nearly everyone has been in defence.
There's the kick by Watts back towards the centre, taking the mark is Fisher. Fisher plays on, gets around Farmer, but has to handball it out to a teammate, Albiston. He gets it in towards full forward, goes right past Watts, picked up by Roy West, the Geelong fullback. Peck tries to go with him, but he gets his kick West and gets it up to Stuart Lord, who marks on the half-back line. Geelong 107, Hawthorn 59, and nearly 24 minutes of play gone in the final quarter. The ball is out of bounds on the centre wing, and we await the throw-in.
Bobby Davis is going to bring Polinelli on to give him a run. Just wondering who can come, or probably Brown.
There's the throw-in. Number 10 is Sharrock, being pursued by number 2, Graham Arthur. It's picked up by Sharrock. He gives it across to Alistair Lord, and here comes Geelong again. Another score coming up, perhaps, as Lord kicks in towards goal. As Phil Hay touches it, and it goes through for 1 point to make Geelong another point on the board.
I can speak for experience when I say this, but I can appreciate how Hawthorn feel at this stage when they've got absolutely no hope of winning this game, and they're just staying there hoping for that final bell to go any minute so they can get off the ground.
Brown is coming off, allowing Polinelli to go onto the wing on Fisher. Polly Farmer kicks the ball onto the half-forward flank. Over behind is Colin Rice. The ball was touched on its way to him. But there's a free kick going to Stead Hay behind the play, evidently. And the scoreboard remains 15-18, 108 to Hawthorn's 8-11-59. Geelong have cascaded to a victory in this final quarter. Sprault marks scooped up by Fisher, who now has to contend with a fresh man in Polinelli. He kicks onto the half-forward line. Very nearly marked at the second bite by Peck. He tried hard. Devine clears the ball as Brown comes off and is congratulated by the Geelong team. He's part of a successful lineup. The ball is again on Geelong's half-forward line, and again it's Stead Hay.
Mark then taken by John Watts. Watts is on the half-back line for Geelong, and he kicks it wide, looking for Polinelli, who's just come on, trying to give him a kick in the grand final, and he succeeds in getting it to Polinelli, and there's Polinelli's first kick in the grand final, in towards goal, but it swings away, and it's over the line and out of bounds in the Geelong forward pocket. Geelong 108, Hawthorn 59, 25 minutes of play gone, 25 gone in the final quarter. There's a throw in, up is Beck, who knocks the ball down. Gary Young tries to pick it up. Cleared by Hawthorn up to the half-back line. Up is Polinelli, almost pulling the mark down. It's picked up by Alistair Lord. A left foot kick in towards goal. A good kick, it's through, it's a goal. 1 point as it hits the post.
Trying to anticipate, and it's banged against the post, and Alistair Lord has kicked 2 goals too. Well, Geelong are 15-19 to 8-11, and I think at half-time, at three-quarter time, Geelong led only by 10 points. Now the lead is 50 points. A fantastic last quarter by Geelong to get well away. There's the kick out by Phil Hay. Polinelli sets himself, receives a push. Now's a chance for Cam McPherson. He gets the ball, plays out along the centre wing position as a Hawthorn player down, and we see the ball go to Rod Olsen. It looks like Nelda. Nelda is on the ground. Or is it Gary Young? Gary Young, it would be number 31. Up towards the half-forward line, and we see Watts again as he falls over in the back pocket, and that was his 10th mark. Fantastic last half by Watts, because he's marked everything that has come his way. Crouch is telling the players to clear away to give Watts a chance. Here is Watts now, back over in the half-back line. Geelong well in command of the game. A poor kick coming out towards Polinelli. They're trying to play to Polinelli, I think, to bring him into the game. Steadhay is over the line, and the ball will be thrown in.
3 minutes of time on in the final quarter of the grand final. Geelong, as Ian has just mentioned, with the game well and truly in their keeping.
31 free kicks to Hawthorn, 27 to Geelong, 38 marks to Hawthorn, 53 to Geelong, and here comes Geelong again. If Polinelli can get it, he does so. Here he receives a push and knocked the photographer flying on the boundary line. And there's a chance now for Gary Young. The ball is over the line this time and out of bounds. Well, the cameraman has picked up his camera. He's very lucky to have it in one piece. And there's another famous photographer, Lloyd Brown, having a shot at his co-mate.
There's the throw in on the half-forward line for Geelong. Farmer knocks the ball down. A chance here for Hawthorn to clear. It's Steadhay who taps it out. And coming off the ground is a Hawthorn player who looks pretty badly hurt. I think it is Darky Nolder. Here's Geelong again with another score coming up from Sharrock. A left foot kick by Sharrock, but it's out of bounds. And there's Darky Nolder. He looks to be pretty badly hurt, and he's getting plenty of attention from the trainers as he is off the ground. Nolder wasn't hurt by an opponent. He went for a mark and fell down heavily, and I think struck his head. And as you saw then, he looks to be in a pretty bad way. Let's hope that he's okay.
He looks bad, Don. He looks to be out.
Bad luck in the last dying minutes of the game that this should happen, but let's hope, as we've said, that Nolder is okay. In the meantime, the ball is out of bounds in the Geelong forward pocket. Geelong coasting home to a win in this grand final. Here's Lyon trying to pick it up. He's come onto the ground to replace Nolder. That's Yates with the ball, number 40. Gary Young has it. Quick pass it out to Steadhay. Steadhay is on the half-back line, sends it up to the centre wing position, and coming in to take it is Stuart Law.
Stuart Law has the ball on the half-forward line for Geelong. Polly Palmer setting himself for a short one, but he's telling Lord to kick it ahead of him, well over his head. Polly Palmer playing his 200th game of league football in a premiership match. How lucky can you be? The ball is on the half-forward line for Geelong, knocked away by Gary Young, coming through strongly now is Goggin. He runs into trouble. Gets away with it. Uren dodges cleverly around a Geelong player. That was Routley. Gets up towards the half-forward line. There's nobody home. Leading in the race for the ball is Scott, coming through stronger as Peck. Peck has the ball on the ground. If he can pick it up, he does so. Tries a short pass up towards Ian Law in the forward pocket. But there's John Devine, and backing him up well is Goodland, who has played very well for Geelong when he replaced Viner at half-time. He ran into a little bit of trouble then, though. Ran into a bit of trouble then. He's going to receive a free kick.
Oh, here's Peck and Roy West, Ian having a tussle. Ian Law comes in. This is unnecessary because the game's almost over.
I think that was with Peck again, Don. Peck and Roy West haven't been the best of friends all day. Anyway, it's a free kick to Goodland in the back pocket in the dying stages of this 63 grand final. Geelong have got it sewn up. Goodland drop kicks it up towards the centre wing position, setting himself. And marking it quite well is Olsen. He plays on now, kicks up towards the centre half-forward position. Here it comes up towards West, and also Devine coming through strongly is Arthur. Gives it across to Law. Law punches it out as the chance for Hawthorn. It's picked up by Elvis and a right foot snap, but oh, he's coming well away from the goals, and it's 1 point. Hawthorn are 8 goals, 12, trailing Geelong 15-19.
Well, a kick-off coming up in the final passage of play from the Geelong fullback, Roy West. This is a certain win to Geelong, who are just coasting home 109-60. Hawthorn have put up a magnificent performance. They're still fighting hard, but Geelong too good on the day. There's the kick-off. A chance for Lyon. Alistair orders there, and there's the siren. And look at the elated Geelong camp. There's Bob Davis being congratulated by other Geelong officials.